Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Here we are, a long-awaited review of the Ninjago City Gardens, as you would have noticed from the title. You will notice as well that it's not in the shop because I've integrated it into the city with like building it in to sort of like the pond around it, as you'll see in the images I'm going to try and insert right here. Moving it was near impossible, so I decided against it. Because I'm actually really happy with the way it's currently looking and the way it's currently integrated, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to touch it because more worries will come in for that than I am willing to, you know, risk. Basically, as always, this is just a chatty review of this set. I really want to talk about it because it's kind of my first big non-Harry Potter set, not counting the modulars. So obviously, if you've been around at all anywhere on the LEGO community, you would have been aware of this set. It was highly anticipated. I was waiting for the moment that it was available to order. If you've watched my most wanted retired set video, you'll know that I really love the Ninjago City set. It's one of those sets that, because I've been in my dark ages for like absolutely forever, when I joined this LEGO community and realised of its existence, I was like, oh my god, that's so beautiful. I'm so sad I've missed out. Same with the dogs. So I obviously missed out on that, and then when this was announced, there was like no doubt in my mind that I was going to get this set because it looked amazing. So when like the images came out, I was like, oh my god, I did not think that I was going to be able to buy a set like that in this time. I am not a fan of Ninjago. I've hardly ever watched the Ninjago videos. I watched a little bit of the Ninjago series like 5 or 6 years ago when I was in au pair with the boys, but I didn't really like watch it after, nor was it really on my radar, not being in the LEGO community. The few episodes I have seen as an au pair were quite funny, and you know, if you're looking after like young children, there's definitely worse things to watch with them, to be honest. When the set came out, I was like super excited because actually I wanted this set from the perspective of design and colour, and not necessarily because it's a Ninjago set. Just so you know what direction I was coming at it from. As always, when you see online images of LEGO, it's really hard to tell scale. Unless you're having it like in the room where you're going to be displaying it with yourself a scale next to it, it's really hard to tell how massive it is. And it's so big! Oh my gosh, like this video will not be able to convey that to you. The arrival you would have seen of the set you would have seen in my previous video. I have been very happily knowing it. I swear to god, every single bag I built was different, was more fun, had new elements, had a new vibe. It was so much fun to build. Basically, I did not know every single bag. I had to just keep building because I just wanted to see what it became. So I'll insert some images of the stuff I have knolls just here so you can see what I've done. I'm just trying to find the right words to describe how brilliant this build was. You start building up the city, and even on like the very most hidden floor are like little Easter eggs and little details that like you're never going to really see once it's built, but it's just there for when you're building it, and I really appreciate that kind of detail being put in. The colours in it are fantastic. It's so eye-catching. I keep having to look at it because it's just right there and I completely adore it. I keep looking at it so often. And like you start building these little houses and the floors of these little houses, and each one has such a distinct character, such a distinct feel to them. There's always little lovely details, and yes, they are achieved by stickers, and there is a lot of stickers in this set, but I didn't mind. Like there was one sticker, like a round sticker, that I was like, oh no. But overall, like they were really easy to apply. They're rectangular, like getting them straight is pretty okay. You know, if you want some detail, you're gonna have to just rely on stickers. I just loved what was achieved with them. So as I said, I'm not a Ninjago fan, so there was a lot of like little details that have no meaning to me personally. I don't know anything about them. They don't make me like go, oh my god, yeah, I remember season 2. Like I have no idea what most of them mean, but the detail that comes with them was still so fun. I love the detail of the houses as well. I really like how it's built up in a similar way to Ninjago City, where like you have the oldie worldy buildings at the bottom and you kind of go more futuristic as you climb. And then each building, though small, it's not really small because it's a huge building, but it's you know, a compact build. There is so much personality inside of these buildings, and once again, you're not going to see them that often because realistically a lot of people buying this set are mostly for like integrating into their city or like for display, but it's there, and it being there is a joy, and like it being there whilst building makes you go, oh my god, this is so amazing. And like you can just, there's a lot to be said for that kind of build, that even though some of the details that you're building you will never see really once it's on display, because it's there when building it, it becomes so much more fun to build. And with this build, I don't think I ever found it boring, ever. Like, even when you have to build like the little walkway, which is sort of like relatively grey and repetitive, it still didn't really matter because it didn't take very long and there was always something there to keep it interesting. Or you're going, oh, I wonder what this is. So if you're looking for an absolutely phenomenal build, Ninjago City will for sure give you that. It's just fantastic. There's so much colour. It makes you happy. There was like moments where I was just building and I could not help I couldn't stop smiling because it was just so much fun and so beautiful. It's like a little puzzle that's coming together because it goes higher and higher and all of a sudden you sit there like, whoa. I think for any kind of builder it's going to be really, really fun. Yes, I recommend it any higher than that. It was probably one of the most fun builds I've done. Even if I'm comparing this to Diagon Alley, I know, I'm such a traitor. I'm now going to compare it to Harry Potter sets. I think I had more fun building Ninjago City Gardens than I did Diagon Alley, and I freaking love Diagon Alley. I don't exactly know why, and it might just be my brain going like, well, you built that ages ago, that was... Well, I don't know how fun that was anymore, but building Ninjago City Gardens, I think it's the bright colours on it in the dark, like January greyness. I was building this in like a bleak month in lockdown and it was just like a little ray of sunshine, which sounds really like over the top, but that in a way that's really what it felt like. And then the end product is brilliant. I was very, very excited to be able to integrate it into my city. Once I heard it was coming, I was like, perfect, I have the perfect spot for it, which you'll be seeing in the little videos I've got. I think it's really interesting. I wasn't sure how much I would love the more futuristic top side of the city because I love like historical architecture. I'm very much of like a Georgian house, like medieval look, all that kind of like historic feel and look of things. Like, so saying that, I was not entirely sure how much I would love like the more like the super futuristic like weird tower that's on top, but actually I think it really, really works, and it's like really nice to see sort of that foundation of like the old and then the really futuristic at the top. Interiors are great, even though it's a modular. Every house is fully interiorized. There's like loads of details in every single build. I'm going to try and show you some of them because they're just packed full of detail. Every corner there's something to be seen, like every little angle you can look at there's always some sort of detail going on. There's posters, there's like a melting ice cream on the floor, there's just so much detail everywhere. One of my favourite builds was the little working arcade machine, which brought serious joy to my heart. Like, simple but effective. Absolutely loved it. I really like the different leaves and the colours of it. I like that like you've got the really light green leaves on the main tree, but then you have the blossomy ones at the top. I think that's awesome. Even me, not knowing that much about like Ninjago, could see some Easter eggs. The minifigure selection in this build is incredible. There's so many of them. I absolutely adore it. You've obviously got the ninjas, you've got some really fun characters, and it's really inspired me to get like Ninjago style other characters as well, because I just want to keep putting more characters in because it just comes to life so much. It's hard to choose my favourite detail, but I was really surprised by the flying scooter. I think that's potentially the most fun detail. I was not expecting that. I love how futuristic that is. I really appreciate that kind of detail. From a parts perspective, you're getting like an incredible array of pieces and colours and uses. It's not at all repetitive in that way, which I've already said in a build way, but it just feels like it's ingenious use of parts. Every single build will use very different techniques to create a new kind of building, which means that every time you're challenged and go, oh my god, like they've used chest lids as roof tiles. How did I not think of this for my own mocks? And it's really creative in that way, and I really love that. If you're a mock builder or somebody that really appreciates like building techniques in Lego, you're going to really appreciate seeing all these different techniques. I think one of the main things that I wanted to talk about as well is the price of this thing. Now, I know, if we're talking about UK pounds, £275 is not to be sniffed at. That is a lot of money, I completely agree, and I had to seriously budget in order to make sure that I could afford this set. But if you're looking at the amount of Lego and minifigures and parts you're getting for that money, this not being a license set really means that that money is going into your actual pieces. So Diagon Alley was, I think, £370, and the Ninjago City is £275. So considering that's like nearly £100 difference, they feel of a similar size. Diagon Alley is a license set, so to be able to make that, they would have had to pay licensing fees. I really felt that both the size of this build, the amount of stuff you get in it, it really, really feels worthwhile for the money, as well as the absolute sheer joy in building this. Yes, it's an expensive set, but it really feels like you're getting bang for your buck, if you know what I'm saying. I did watch the Ninjago movie because when I was building this, I was like, I feel like I need to know more about Ninjago, so I did watch the movie one evening just to make sure, you know, I was up to date with what Ninjago City was and I could really capture its essence. As much as that's complete rubbish, but I wanted to know. So overall, 100% could not recommend this build enough. It's fantastic. There's very little I would change to it, to be honest. If anything, the one thing that I kept thinking is because I just built the Spring Lantern Festival, I would love if there had been some koi tiles in the Ninjago City Gardens as well, but that's something that I can really easily add myself. It's not a problem. So I think in general it was an absolutely fantastic build. I am so happy that I got it. It's every day I'm sad that it's now over and I can't experience that build like for the first time again, because it's just the best. So if you're on the fence about getting it, I think obviously don't spend more than you have to spend, budget for it, but if you're not sure if it's worth it, I would 100% shout from the rooftops, it is worth it. You will not regret it. And I'm also, on a very boring note, pretty sure that if this retires in a few years, it's going to go up in price quite a lot. I think it's going to be a real collector's piece, and it's just something that's a joy to behold. So I hope I have explained myself well enough, as per usual, because this is just talking off the top of my head. I probably have 5 million things that I could have said about this as well, so feel free to say anything that I didn't touch upon in my video but down below. But I really hope that you liked listening to me blabber on about this fantastic set. That's all from me. Thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope to see you next time. As you probably have been able to tell, I've changed my schedule a little bit because I just wasn't able to keep up with the Friday upload because of work. So I'm probably gonna upload a little bit more ad hoc, but oh, that's such a business term. Oh no. I'm probably gonna upload a little bit more sporadically as and when I can, but I hope that's okay with you guys. Thank you so very much for giving me your time, and I hope to have a lovely chat with you all in the comments. See you later. Howdo!